everyone, Niklsun here, and welcome to Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. I'm your host, and on this show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we'll be going over all of the day's movie news, as well as going over what it means for the production in general, such as casting decisions, trailer announcements, director announcements, things like that. So, without any further ado, let's get started with today's Hot Topics. Speaking of Universal franchises, it appears as though Universal Studios is not quite done with Fast and Furious franchise as of yet. Well, I don't know if I've ever said this on the show, but I do remember not last year, but was it last year? I think it might have been early 2013 when they were, or middle of 2013, when they were starting to plan Furious 7. It was going to be released in June 2014 originally. When the casting started to come out, they announced Lucas Black, who played the character of Sean in Tokyo Drift. He had signed on to the new movie. He was coming back, but more importantly, he had signed a 3-picture deal. That to me showed that they have more plans after Furious 7 than they originally did, even before Paul Walker passed away. The comment and question that's always been coming up since the passing of Paul Walker has been, will Furious 7 be the final one? And for a while, it would have all depended on how they handled it. If they had have killed off the character, which they've come out and they've said they're not doing, but if they had killed the character, the only way they could have done that would have been in a car crash. Because that means they would have had to film another sequence with him either getting shot or falling out of a window or whatever the case might have been, whatever way they would have wanted him to die. They only would have been able to do it in a car crash because he would have filmed sequences in the cars. And that would have pissed off so many people. So many people would have been pissed off because of that, because that would have not only been a disservice to not only the character, but him as an actor, but it would have also been, mainly, it would have been also been too close to how he actually died. If they had done that, that would have killed the franchise. But Paul Walker was not the end-all be-all when it came to the franchise. One of the main reasons Fast and Furious movies have been getting so much better, and not solely, but one of the main reasons, is because of the addition of The Rock. And that right there proved that this was not a Paul Walker, Vin Diesel franchise. They are staples, absolutely. Staples can be removed. Staples can be adjusted. You can put tape over something instead of putting a staple in it. So there are ways around this. And they came out and said that they have at least 3 more films that they're planning. That's their thought process right now. They want to do 3 more. A report is also coming out that Justin Lin, the director of Fast and Furious 3 through 6, so Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, and Fast and Furious 6, he stopped to not do the 7th because, he felt that he wanted to go and do other things. He signed on to do the Bourne Legacy sequel with Jeremy Renner, still through Universal. And we all know how that's gone down. We know that Paul Greengrass and Matt Damon are coming back. They've pushed the Bourne Legacy sequel off. We don't know till when, but they have confirmed that they are still going ahead with it. They just don't know when they're going to be working on it. Now, that's freed up space for Justin Lin. The only problem is I don't know if Justin Lin will want to come back because he hasn't had a chance to flex his creative wings yet. He hasn't been able to work on something outside of Fast and Furious since he started with that franchise. I mean, he did Annapolis before that, and I think he did a couple of other films as well, but for the most part, he's just done those 4 Fast and Furious movies. And I don't know if he's going to want to come back yet. I can see him definitely wanting to return to finish the franchise off. If they wanted him to come back for the final one, I'm pretty sure he would jump at it. But making his next film Furious 8 or Fast and Furious 8 or whatever they're going to call it, or Fury 8. Oh my God, I hope they don't call it Fury 8. But, I mean, they're saying it's going to be a multi-film conclusion or a multi-film arc. And I like that idea. I mean, anybody who's watched the movies has seen that there has been a through-line story throughout the last several films. The first movie, second movie, and third movie were all separate. But as soon as the third movie started, once they did the fourth one, they thought, okay, we've got this plan. We've got this great idea that we can do to tell this story during the time between 2 and 3. And then bring us up to 3, which will be technically 7. And then moving on to film number 7, which will technically be 8 in the timeline. So I personally think that, yes, I would like him back. He's got a fantastic eye for action. He knows this world. He knows these characters. They obviously all get along well. Everything we've seen from Furious 7 so far, I am loving that trailer. That trailer is insane. I mean, every time I watch it, I get an adrenaline rush. And I can't think of that many movies that have done that just with their trailer, that have just got me not only just so excited, but my adrenaline pumping. Like, it's just insane. And that's what these movies can do. That is one of the reasons why I don't understand why so many people are like, they're already at 7. It's already past its prime. Let it die. It's why? They're more fun and more successful than they have been. Why stop it? Unless Furious 7 comes out and is less. If it is less exciting, which I don't think it will be, if it is less engaging, which I don't think it will be, then yes, that shows that there is signs of fatigue, franchise fatigue. We've been with these characters too long. We don't have any more areas for them to explore. We just got to finish it off. And this is a type of franchise. They already tried it with Tokyo Drift, and it didn't work as well, but it brought out ideas that they could continue the story with the original characters. But don't just continue the franchise with new characters. Fast and Furious, the sole reason that it is working is because of the team that they have. With it, whether it be Vin Diesel, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, you've got now the addition of The Rock. You have these guys, their chemistry together is one of the main reasons, that and the high octane action, but that is one of the core reasons why people keep coming back. If you remove that, it takes away what everybody was looking forward to. It's now just going to be another standard action movie with cars. And I hope that they don't do that. I really do. Because if they have more ideas, which I think that they do, because they signed on Lucas Black for 3 more films. I'm assuming Vin Diesel's been signed on for at least another couple more. And The Rock, obviously, has more than likely been signed on. He has a really great working relationship with Universal. So I don't see why they would try to tick him off by doing anything or replacing his character or writing his character out or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, I don't get how people can get sick of these movies. They're just so much fun. And that's why we go to the movies. Yes, there are certain movies we go to, not necessarily be educated, but to reevaluate what's important. There are movies that serve that purpose. There are other movies that serve the purpose just to make us laugh. There are other movies that serve a purpose to tell us something specific about history with having an artistic brush over top of it. Then there are movies that are there just to be fun. For somebody to sit there, bag of popcorn, thing of Coke or Sprite or whatever it is that you want, and just enjoy. Just let 2 hours go by and just watch and enjoy. That's what these movies do. They've been successful at doing that, and they've been getting better at doing that. So I hope that if the quality continues, I hope they don't stop. I just hope that they don't start rushing them just for the sake of doing it. Oh, this one made more money, more money, more money. All right, let's see if we can get 3 of them out in a year. No. Do not do that. If you want to film 2 of them back to back, which was the original intention for Fast and Furious 6 and 7, was they were originally going to film them back to back, and Justin Lin didn't want to do it, whether it be he didn't want to come back for the sequel originally or whatever the case may be. It was always the plan for them to shoot it back to back. They didn't end up doing that, and that's the way that it just went. So if they have a plan for doing that on the future films, as long as they have the right story and the right script, then I'm on board with it, because they can't remove the core aspects that people love. As long as they keep those, I'm on board. So as it stands right now, Furious 7 opens April 3rd, 2015. If that movie is a smash hit, which I don't think anybody out there is thinking that it won't be, then I'm pretty sure Fast and Furious 8 will be coming out within the next 2 years. You can probably put some money down on that. But if we get more information about this topic, I will definitely update you guys on here. With our final topic today, reports are coming in from both Deadline and Variety that Daniel Bruhl, the star of Rush, he was also in Inglourious Bastards, he was in The Fifth Estate, he has been signed on to Captain America 3 Civil War in an undisclosed role, although they are reporting that he is going to be a villain of sorts. Now, there's a little bit of, I don't even know how to properly term it. I think there's a bit of confusion with these reports. Now, I haven't heard from any of those sources, so I don't know exactly what's going on, but the rumor right now is that he will be an introductory villain in Captain America Civil War. I don't believe he's the main villain. I think Crossbones is still going to be the main villain in Civil War. Like villain, not antagonist, just the villain, the bad guy in the movie. Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is going to be the antagonist of the film. He is going to have the opposing viewpoint of Captain America. I do feel, though, that most likely either they will be completely removed from one another by the end of the film, or they will have reconciled their differences and come together to fight a common foe. But they are saying that not only will he be an introductory villain in Captain America Civil War, that he will be the main villain in Doctor Strange. That report in itself is strange, because Doctor Strange and Captain America really don't have any villains that cross over. There are villains that can be used, but in order to if he's going to be the main villain in Doctor Strange, that means he's going to have to be a villain of magic of sorts. Having magic come into a Civil War storyline, a very political storyline that's going to involve Winter Soldier and Crossbones as two potentially main villains, doesn't make much sense. Then there comes the big part of the confusion, because this could just be the writers at Variety and Deadline are getting two characters mixed up because they sound very similar. They both have the technical first name. Baron Zemo and Baron Mordo. Now, little bit of an update on you guys. Baron Zemo, he is a Cap villain. He is not Transylvania. No, that's Mordo. He is I believe a German scientist who worked with the Red Skull. And so they could potentially tie him into Winter Soldier's backstory. That's at least how I can see that happening. But I can't see Baron Zemo coming over and being in Doctor Strange. On the flip side of that, Baron Mordo. He's a Transylvanian. He's a Transylvanian wizard who, I mean, I think he'd be cool to see on the big screen, but he would make absolutely no sense in a Captain America movie. So I don't know if this is just going to be a misprint, or a scoop got wrong, or whatever the case is. I mean, he is in the movie. Kevin Feige's already came out and said that he can't wait to see him share the screen with some of our biggest heroes. That's what led to a lot of people saying that he's the villain. Then other reporters went out to their sources and said, yes, he is a villain. Now, that hasn't been confirmed by Marvel. That is still just speculation. But I don't know. I at this point right now, I don't care who he plays. I mean, we're getting so much comic book news that by the time the movies come out, we're starting to get inundated with too much news that we already kind of know the story beats. Like, I already know, for the most part, how Avengers Age of Ultron is going to play out. I mean, I don't know any specific character deaths or any specific action beats, but I know the general storyline and how that's going to move out through the movie. So, I mean, I'm really just... Yeah, I don't care who he plays. I'm excited that they got someone of Daniel Bruhl's caliber to be in a character, whether he be a villain or a hero, or just a bystander. He's a fantastic actor. Anybody who hasn't seen Rush, you need to stop what you're doing right now and see Rush. That movie is fantastic. And not only that, he shares a screen time with Thor, and he upstages him. He is just 10 times better than Chris Hemsworth in that movie. And Chris Hemsworth gives almost the best performance of his career. And that's not saying that he's a bad performer. Daniel Bruhl is a powerhouse performance in this movie. And him coming on board a Marvel film, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I am definitely down with that. At this point, I don't care who he plays, because that is fantastic casting. I just don't see him playing Baron Mordo, unless they got him wrong and he's not going to be in Captain America 3. He's going to be in Doctor Strange. If he's in Doctor Strange, even then, I can't see him playing Baron Mordo. I really can't. As good of an actor as he is, I just can't see it. I can see him as Baron Zemo, because that works. I mean, he's got the accent for Baron Mordo, but outside of that, I don't see the character traits being the same. So, I mean, the movie's still a year and a half away. It's only a year and a half away. Wow. That's coming up quick. So yeah, Cap 3, as we know right now, opens up May 6, 2016. Doctor Strange opens up November 4th, 2016. If we do get more information about who he's actually playing before the movie comes out, I will definitely update you guys on here. But as it stands right now, I am just so in on these Marvel movies and even the DC movies. I mean, this is just such a great time to be a movie fan. And that's how I'm going to end the show. It's such a great time to be a movie fan. All this news should just be happy. Unfortunately, the Universal Monsters movie, that stuff's getting me a little worried. But even Fantastic Four, I'm still cautiously optimistic about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about, Doom's origin, about Daniel Bruhl joining Captain America Civil War, about the desperation that Universal is just emitting with their Universal Monsters movies. And whether or not you think that we deserve to have, or not deserve, but whether or not you think we should have more Fast and Furious movies. If the quality keeps going the way that it is, I don't see why we shouldn't have any more movies. I think they should just keep going on and on and on. They're making money. They're entertaining. And they're not trying to change anything. They're not trying to change the world. They're not trying to have a political viewpoint. They're just fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, whether or not you agree with me, disagree with me, your points about that. I definitely want to hear about all that stuff. And when we get more information about any of these topics, I will definitely update you guys on here. Well, that'll about do it for us here on Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been a great audience. Go ahead and click the subscribe button there in the bottom corner. You can get updates whenever we post a new video. You can also follow me on Twitter at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates. And you can also give us a like on our Facebook page at facebook.com/movie news with Niklsun. Every Friday episode, I try to answer as many questions as I can, so if you have a question or a topic that you would like to have discussed on the show, you can go ahead and write a comment in the comment section, or you can email us at movienewswithniklsun, Niklsun, @gmail.com. We'll try to get to as many as we can on Friday. But until next time, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.